Growing up, I was always like, yo, when I work with Kanye, I'm retiring. Like, that's all I need to do.
Yeah,
like, I'm done. But then after I did it, I was like, yo, this is actually the beginning. That's why I became an engineer, though, because like that's the best way to get in the room. Everyone needs an engineer. And it's the only consistent job in the music industry that you can really make money off of if you have clients. I was always loud about my shit. Like, I was
people's faces and shit.
Yeah, bro. Like, a lot of times, like, to my detriment, but also at the same time, it put me on because, like, I was able to put myself out there and, like, let niggas know, like, what I knew. The connections and the people you know, like, that's a big ass thing, and putting yourself out there. But when you're in the position, again, it goes back to the consistency. Like, you gotta be consistent. You got all the connections in the world. If you suck, nigga, you're not getting nothing. You're not getting nowhere. You might get put on one time, you might get one good opportunity, but if you don't kill that shit, like, you're done. Yeah, you're done.
Yo, what's going on, world? It's your boy Poncho here. Welcome to episode 36 of the Encore Podcast. If this is your first time listening, this is the pod for artists, musicians, anyone with a passion for music and art that's trying to turn it into a full-time business. So if that's you, subscribe, tap in with the community. I'm here today with my co-host Cruz.
What's up, Poncho? How you doing, bro?
Life is good.
Life is great. So I'm very excited about this guest today. We got Mike Snell in the building. He's a producer, engineer, entrepreneur, and a DJ, and a very talented one. He has over 1 billion streams on Spotify. That's fucking crazy,
All
bro.
platforms.
All. Shout out to you, bro. Grammy nominated. Yo, thank you so much for joining us today, bro. It's great to have you today.
Thank you for having me, bro. We out here, yo.
Yeah, this is the literal GOAT from Peace Skill, by the way. That's
not like the
at,
actual GOAT from
Appreciate it, yo. Appreciate it.
Nah, we here. All right, so in just a few minutes, could you tell the people where you were born, where you grew up, and how you got started in music?
Well, I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
In New York?
Yeah.
And you got my lawyer? Nah, bro. We gotta we gotta fight now. No, I'm playing. Yeah, you know, New York. I like was raised in Manhattan, Washington Heights. And then moved around. Like, I was in the Bronx for a little minute, moved back to Manhattan, moved back to the Bronx. And then came to high school here. I got started with music around 3rd grade. I was like playing like drums, like this West African drum called the djembe. And then play like the melodica, and then a trumpet. And then I just gradually like really fell in love with music. Like, it's the one thing that just came natural to me. And then then I started producing in like 2007, actually, with my brother. He's right here. Shout out Aiden, Snell Productions.
Facts.
We made a song. We made a couple songs, me, him, and my other 2 siblings, Nadia and Ray. Just fucking around on GarageBand, bro. Like, shout out GarageBand. Like,
Facts.
the OG GOAT. And yeah, man, like, when I moved from the Bronx to Peekskill, that's when I really just, like, I didn't really have a lot of friends. So I found out there was a music lab in the school, and I was like, yo, just making beats. And then that's kind of how I like got my friend group. Like, there was a lot of people that wanted to make music in the school, so they would come to me to like record. And then I had my crib was across the street from the high school, so niggas would just pull up to my crib every day. My mom didn't know, like, she would be at work and shit.
like you became the engineer for the people at your school.
Yeah, exactly. Engineer, producer,
and producer at the time.
Yeah, and I was making my own music at the time too. I was rapping and singing and shit, putting out music. And yeah, and then I did an internship in like 10th grade at the studio that was down the street from here called Z Studios.
R.I.P. Z Studios.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yo. But shout out to my boy Raheem Grant, who ran that studio, because that's when I realized it was a job. And I was like, okay, like, I can get paid for the shit I do for fun. Like, I'm doing this forever. And then, yeah, bro, that's really how it started, yeah.
Yeah, you went to music school as well too, right?
Yeah, I did. I went to the Institute of Audio Research in Manhattan.
How did that go for you?
It was great, man. Like, I went to WCC for a little bit, like, before that.
Yeah.
But, like, that was really just for my parents because they wanted me to get a degree. But deep down, I already knew what I wanted. So it was great, man. Like,
it was worth it for you? Like, is that something that you would recommend for other people that's trying to take the producer or maybe even artist route?
I get access a lot, and I don't regret going to school. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend it because, like, you don't need it. Like, more than 60% of this game did not go to school, bro. Like, especially look at all these producers, like Southside, Metro. None of these niggas went to fucking audio school.
They went to YouTube University.
Exactly, YouTube. And bro, even now on TikTok, like you can learn mad shit. Instagram, you know, like and
Shout out Larry O.
Yeah, exactly. Larry O. Yeah, get me. Like Larry O. Like yeah, like you can learn a lot on the internet, but the best way to learn though is to have a mentor and work under somebody else that already's been in it and has done it.
Yeah, but you had internships too, right? Like, did you intern for a couple companies?
Yeah, I did Z Studios. I was lucky to have an internship in high school. Like that was like probably the main thing that like set me like on the path. And then I had a couple internships actually. I did an internship at WCC at their music production class. I learned a lot. So I learned Ableton and Logic. And and then after I graduated from IAR, I had an internship. I completely fucked it up. I had two internships. The first one was live sound, and it was going all good, like during the training and everything. But then the day of the show, I realized I was the only black person, and I was like, "Nah, fuck this." Yeah, I just quit. I said, "Nah, I can't do this." And then also, it's not what I wanted. And then I had another internship at the Brewery Studios in Brooklyn, which is like where Cudi did like Pursuit of Happiness, I believe, and Pop Smoke used to go to that studio. A lot of people. And the reason I applied there was because I was looking at my favorite artist of all time is Kid Cudi. So I was looking at the credits for the album that he did with Dr. Genius, which is called Wizard. And I saw that the whole thing was done at that studio. And I was like, I need to be in the studio. And I applied. I got an interview, got the internship. But remember, I had already been engineering and I already been doing this shit. So I was working under another engineer, and he was like...
He was slow as fuck.
He was slow, bro.
You can't be a slow engineer.
Yeah,
bro.
like he was a Logic dude, and he was using Pro Tools, and he was doing everything really slow. And so then in my head, I'm like, all right, I want to show him that I know what I'm doing. So I'll be like, yo, like you know, you could just do this, and I would reach and on the keyboard and just do it for him. And in my head, I'm like, yes, I'm showing him I know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I'm making him look bad. And they just didn't call me back. Like they
didn't appreciate that personally. Yeah, so you might have been helping them, but they just didn't want to call you back because they sound like.
I mean, I was hurting them because like if an intern and then in the studio knows more than the fucking actual engineer, that makes the studio look bad. Like rule number 1 in the laws of power is don't outshine your master. You know what I'm saying?
You like that 48 Laws of Power shit?
I mean, I did read. I tried to read it, but then I stopped, and I just went to YouTube and looked at the synopsis.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
There's a lot of amazing like things that you can learn from that.
It's definitely validity. Some people feel like it's mad like narcissistic and shit. But
yeah, it is. But I mean, in this game, you kind of gotta be a little bit of a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of do gotta have, but it needs to be a balance.
Did you always have some type of confidence where it's like you felt capable or confident to put yourself out there and be like, I have beats, I engineer, or were you kind of like somebody that took a little bit of like a back?
Bro, I was always like loud about my shit. Like
people's faces and shit.
Yeah, bro. Like a lot of times, like to my detriment, but also at the same time, like it put me on because like I was able to, you know, like put myself out there and like let niggas know like what I knew. But in that situation as an intern, like that shit.
That wasn't the time for that. Yeah.
But if you look back at it, like it probably was a good thing because like I ended up going to a whole nother studio that was like just starting out and they needed engineers, and I got a job as an actual engineer. So it just wasn't for me at the time, and it was a lesson learned.
That spot wasn't for you necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to start or should I?
Yeah, so I know that one thing about you is that you were able at that point to just pick up and leave to LA.
Yeah, well,
so
not
you didn't speak on
point.
that, like, or shortly after that.
Yeah, like,
or just in general, you were ready to be work ready at random moments in life.
Yeah, I mean, shortly after that, like, I was working at my dad's bar for a while, and then like I applied at Apple, but then I was like, you know what, like, fuck this, like. I'm down to work at any studio. Like I don't care what type of studio it is, where it is. Like I just want to work. Like I'm like I just.
That's like in your character to just be able to pick up and go like where.
So I started working at the studio called BBE Studios in the Bronx, and it's a new studio ran by like gangster people. Like they was in like music industry people, and I was getting paid like $10 an hour. It was terrible, but. I was grinding, bro. I was in there every day, 10 hours, like making like $100 a day, which is not bad. you know. And I was doing something I loved, and I got my chops up. I got ready, like I got my experience. Then I went to a studio in Harlem called Arc House, which is still there. So if you're trying to book, you know what I'm saying, hit them up. But and then that's when I got to work with like Dave East, Neek Bucks, and after that I felt like it was like a year passed, and I was like, yo, like I feel like I reached my ceiling. Like I need to like go and like I need to make a move. And it's crazy how powerful words are, because I didn't think a physical move. I meant more so like I need to make some moves, you know. But God was like, okay, you want to move? Like, here's the opportunity. And I got a call from somebody that was watching me on Instagram that went to high school with me. And I was like, yo, like I got an opportunity for you at Atlantic Records.
Shout out Story.
Exactly. Shout out to Story. I actually got to call him. He's mad at me. But yeah, like so then I went to LA and then started working at I got the job at Atlantic, and bro, I barely saved money. Like I had like $1,000, bought the flight. Now I got 800. Like, you know, thought I had a place to stay. Shorty kicked me out because she was pregnant. So I kind of was like, just like sleep. I was just trying to figure it out. My boy let me just sleep on his couch. And then yeah, bro, I was just in that bitch grinding like a motherfucker, like just going hard every day, like just working hard. Yeah,
I've watched all your interviews personally, so I know that's like a character trait about you, is like you're ready to pick up and go like when you're needed.
Yeah.
How important has that been for you in your career to just be able to like, especially as an engineer, to be like, all right, like somebody wants my services, like let me just like make myself ready at all moments.
I mean, that's the best trait you can have. Like you have to be able to just, especially when you're coming up, like you got to be able to just, that's what they want. Like at the end of the day, I said this before, like nobody gives a fuck about the engineer, bro. They don't care, like mentally, physically, like they're just like, all right, it's 3 a.m, like I'm gonna call this nigga, like he better pick up, and if he doesn't, I'll go to somebody else. So you gotta be ready, or else someone else will take your spot. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up, that's what you gotta do.
Do you ever feel tired though? I mean, like engineers, producers, trust me, they get shit on in the industry. You ever get fucking exhausted from that shit?
Hell yeah. You know, like that's why like now I primarily mix and master and produce like from my crib. Like I'm not in the studios like I was before, you know, but in order for people to trust you with that, you need to go through the trenches and you need to do that shit. And like you kind of got to put your mental health and physical health on the back burner for a little bit, you know, just so you could build your name up, you know. But there comes a point where you're just like, bro, fuck all this shit. And I reached that point after like 7-8 months working at Atlantic, and I was like, yo, I can't, like I need to take a break. And you know, it didn't really go too well for me at the time. Like they found other people, stopped scheduling me at all, like making fun of me, like fucking
making fun of you?
Yeah, like literally, like I will come in the studio and they'll be like, oh, like how'd you rest? Did you rest good? Like all sarcastically and shit. Like niggas wouldn't talk to me, and niggas was deleting my files off the computer. Like it was crazy.
It was like that just because you took like a mental health sort of like I need this recovery type of time. Like
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But it was a blessing in disguise, because that's when I got the opportunity from Good Music, and then that's when I started working with Tiana. Because I had the time from Atlantic, and it's funny because I was in Atlantic at the studio when I got the call, and I was sitting there waiting for Atlantic to finally start booking me, but then I got a call from somebody else, and that shit changed my life. Like that.
Who was that call from?
That was from Che Pope, who was he's like legendary producer. He's produced for like Lauryn Hill, The Weeknd, like all types of people, Kanye. So he was the president, I believe, of Good Music at the time, and he called me because I did a session in Christmas with Sheck West, and he had. And then Tiana had just fired her engineer, or like something happened with the engineer, I don't know. But so they called me, and I was down the street. I pulled up, and then yeah, bro, we made magic. It was fucking amazing, yeah.
So what would you say was the qualities that you exemplified that made people want to keep continuously booking you? Like you became Tiana Taylor's like main engineer, I believe, right? Like what is it about you, or just like engineers in general, that you would say is like a characteristic of like an artist to look for in an engineer?
Efficiency, how fast you are. Like you got to know all the short keys,
all the key commands,
all of them. You gotta know all of them, every single one. And quality, like it has to sound good. Availability, you got to be available whenever. And also, like, you gotta be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be a weirdo.
Talk about
Give good
it.
vibes.
Yeah,
This shit is overlooked. Talk about it.
Yeah, like, you gotta have a good vibe, and you gotta fit in with them, because it's like, yeah, I fit in with Tiana Taylor, but like, you put me in with, I don't know, like somebody that does like something else completely different that I may not understand the music. Like, you gotta understand what they're going for and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, like, now I'm well versed, but you could have put me with a metal band and they had me recording drums and bass, and I probably would have been overwhelmed. But it's an R&B singer. I love R&B music. She's from Harlem. I'm from Washington Heights. It fit perfectly. You know, it was just a match made in heaven. Like, you know,
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yo, also, with Tia, this is a question. We did an interview probably 2 years ago, type shit. And I did ask this question in that interview. But I feel like it's real important, so I wanted to ask you again. Yeah. With someone like Tiana, and you just listed a bunch of names of official people you worked with in the past, what are some differences you see between those artists versus people on the come up who is going to be watching this interview right now?
I mean, I don't even remember what I said, but the main difference, honestly, is just their status, bro. Like, it's just their status. Like, because there's someone out there right now that's equally as talented as Tiana Taylor, but she's just not Tiana Taylor. She hasn't, you know.
But why is Tiana Taylor and that person not?
I know what you said. You said that it was just you watched the shit. You said it was consistency, and that you put she put a lot of work into just being able to find that lane for themselves.
Exactly,
and just,
consistency. But also though, like, now thinking back though, like, also it's about being in the right situation at the right time, like, because there's also a lot of people that like nepotism is a real thing in this industry. Like, niggas that just putting
What is that?
Nepotism is like basically like, say you had a little cousin, right? And he wanted to do podcasts. Putting
your family on. Or
so it's like, all right, he's my cousin. I'm gonna just put him on. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Like, I've seen that. There's like people that own labels and like, you know what? This is my little cousin. Like, I'm gonna put him on type shit. Even though he's never made a song before.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I've seen that. I've been in the studio with niggas that are like maybe their 4th or 5th song and they just got a record deal. You know what I'm saying? It's because of their connections and shit. So, I'm not saying Tiana was nepotism. It was not. But like, the connections and the people you know, like, that's a big ass thing. And putting yourself out there in order to, you know, be in those positions. But when you're in the position, again, it goes back to the consistency. Like, you gotta be consistent. You have to work hard.
Do you think people should focus more on the connections or more on the actual work?
It's both. Because you got all the connections in the world. If you suck, nigga, you're not getting nothing. You're not getting nowhere. Like, straight up. Like, you might get put on one time. You might get one good opportunity, but if you don't kill that shit, like, you're done. Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
So as part of that consistency conversation is like, how do you avoid getting overworked? Like, for you, how do you approach sort of balancing being able to, like, all right, I'm putting all these hours in, but I'm not overworking myself. Like, how does that work for you?
I mean, you gotta have boundaries, and you gotta just like, you gotta be organized, and you have to just, you know, you can't say yes to everybody. Like, I just finished saying no to like 3 people this week, you know, because A, their prices was crazy, and number 2, like, you know, I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on right now, and but it sucks though, because like I said, like, at the end of the day, like, niggas will just go to the next person. So like, you have to be selective, and you have to have good, what's the word I'm looking for? Good judgment. You know, there's a word I can't find in my head right now.
Intuition.
That's another one. I can't think of the word right now. But you just gotta, you know, balance yourself. Just like, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Like, bro, all right, if there's 5 days in the week, I got 5 mixes to do this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna take more. I gotta take Saturday and Sunday off. For me, that's how I did it. I'm like, yo, I'm done working on the weekends. Like, you will not see me.
You set that boundary for yourself?
Yeah, like, you will not see me working on Saturday, Sunday. Like, it's not happening. Unless, you know, Tiana calls me, which she's retired, but, you know, unless there's like an amazing opportunity, I'm not working on the weekends, bro. It's
really?
Like, I'm gonna go.
How common is that in the music industry for people to be like, I'm not working on the weekends specifically? I know in the business world, because I'm in that type of world, I know people set that boundary for themselves, but like, artistically, do you say people work a lot on the weekends?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see that too commonly. Like, you know, I don't. Niggas just be working all the time. But I started taking my mental health real seriously, because like, you know, you get depressed, bro. Like, I've had a point, like, especially when I got off tour with Tiana, Like my first tour, I was DJing for her, and I was taking mixes
the whole time.
Yeah. Like I was taking mixes while I was on the road because I wasn't getting paid much by her, and I'm trying to keep up with these mixes, but I can't because like it's a grueling schedule. You know you get up early for sound check, you gotta set up, and then you gotta go through rehearsal. Then you got a couple hours, and then you perform again, and then sometimes you go out afterwards. It's part of like the schedule and shit. But I was doing that anyway. So when I got off tour, I had like 15 songs that I hadn't done, like that I got while I was on tour, and I'm just like overwhelmed. Like I just want to rest. And at that point, I was like, bro, like I can't just say yes to everybody. Like I gotta start denying some people, and it's like you want to make everyone happy, but it's impossible. It's fucking impossible. Like you got to put yourself first. I think that's the key. Just putting yourself first.
You feel like you got to earn that though?
Yes. You do have to earn that. Like I said, when you're coming up, nigga, you gotta say yes to everybody, bro. Like, unless they're not trying to pay you, you know what I'm saying? But if you really want to become a legend and be at the top, you gotta work fucking hard, you know what I'm saying? But also, you still gotta pace yourself at the same time, because if you have too much work, then you're not putting enough time into each single person, and you're just rushing through shit, you know? So it's all about balance. It's really, it's not an easy thing to do when you, especially in this industry, because there's no rules and regulations. We don't get no overtime pay. We don't get no breaks. Like we don't have no health insurance.
No 401ks.
Yeah, no, exactly. No savings. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why most people just take whatever, because it's like, all right, I got to pay my bills right now. Like,
that's a fact.
Damn. Okay. So building off of that, I know that's something that a lot of engineers struggle with, is giving feedback in the studio. So
they be scared.
Yeah, they be scared too. Maybe they don't do it enough. Maybe they do it too much. Like, do you have a philosophy on how you approach giving feedback in the studio?
It's all about the relationship you have with the artist.
Okay.
Because like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm a producer first. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're in the studio, I'm gonna give you feedback. But every situation is not. You don't gotta give feedback. Like for example, I was in the studio with Kodak Black, and as you know, because you have the fucking contract.
I got the contract. Yeah, facts. I'm his lawyer. If y'all didn't know, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm his lawyer's assistant.
But anyway, so we're in the studio, right? And first of all, I was like completely like out of the blue, bro. I'm in the studio just making beats, and he just opens the door, and I'm just like, what the fuck is Kodak? Like, and he had just gotten out of jail, so I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, like, am I interrupting something? And I'm like, nah, you're good. Like, come in. And he comes in, and then like 20 people walk in. I'm like, oh damn. And then I start packing my shit up, and I'm like, yo, this is my opportunity. Like, I need to like make sure like I tell him I make beats. So I was like, yo, like, you mind if I play you some beats? And he's like, hell yeah. Like, you always looking for beats. So I played one beat, just vibing to it. Play the next beat, kind of vibing to it. But then he's like, yo, go back to the first one. So I play the first one again. And he's like, starts like spinning under his breath and shit. He's like, yo, you know how to record? I'm like, hell yeah, let's get it. So I load the beat up, and then one of his homies goes in the booth. And in my head, I was like, fuck, like, I don't want this nigga to get on my beat. Like, I want Kodak on my shit.
Okay.
But whatever. I'm just like, whatever. I'm so happy to be here. So I'm recording. And bro, I'll kid you not. Like,
this was in Florida?
Yeah, it's in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully they don't see this, but whatever. Like, I kid you not, bro. This nigga was stuck on the, like, he wrote 3 bars and was stuck, my nigga, for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm a writer too. Like, I write, as well. So like, and that's what I do. Like, if I'm producing for an artist, it's a collaborative effort in the studio. Like, we all are helping out. Somebody might have a suggestion.
Come up with some type of flow that they might be able to build off of.
Exactly. Or like if they have a rhyme scheme going already, I'm like, okay, these words also rhyme. Like,
okay.
So he had this rhyme scheme, and in my head, I'm like thinking of all these things he could say. Like, it was so many possibilities. But I didn't know, because again, I didn't really have a relationship with these niggas. I just met them. So I was like, yo, what if you say like I pull the gat out of the hat like a rabbit? I was like, there's some shit. Like, bro, I kid you not, nigga paused the music. That fucking security guard was like, what the fuck you just say, nigga? He's like, nah, we don't do that shit, bro. We write all our own music out here. Like, we don't take no bars. Like,
they pressed you about it?
They pressed me, yeah.
Because you suggested a line?
Yes, bro. And then the whole session got fucked up. Like, the vibe was off. Niggas was like whispering under their breath about me and shit. I was like, all right, yo, I actually gotta go.
Yeah. So
And then luckily his engineer got there and I just like escorted myself out. But like they was pissed, bro. Like they were so mad. So like in that situation, it's like I should have just stayed quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Luckily, like 2 days later, we got the song back. Kodak was on it. I was happy. But like,
Okay,
I
yeah. So you
almost
still
fucked
wound
up.
up getting the song from it, even though like okay.
But
Because they liked your
almost-
beat, not like
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but I almost
wow.
fucked up a big opportunity for myself.
yeah, as an engineer. Because okay.
So you got to be able to read the vibe. I was very excited and like I was ignoring the vibe because I'm in my head like trying to impress these guys. Like, all right, yo, let me show them I can write too. Like, but you got to read the room, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some niggas are in there focused. They already got their shit written. They just want to record and leave. Some people are down to like, all right, like, you know, collaborate and allow you to give input, but not everybody is.
I respect it.
So yeah.
Okay. I think you have a lot of talents. There's a lot of things that Mike Snell is good at. If I was to personally say what I feel like is your biggest skill is getting in the room. So if you had to teach a class how to get in the room 101, what would you say?
Move to LA.
This is feedback he's been giving us as a media.
He's trying to convince us to leave New York.
Yeah,
It's-
facts.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're not about to get into no rooms here. I swear to you. Like, you're not.
In Westchester,
Like,
no.
You make your own room and niggas will come to you, but like, you're not getting in no rooms out here. It's not happening. Like, it's not. Bro, you could watch every interview. You seen it. That's what I say in every interview. Like, leave, bro. Like, that's it. And like, that's why I became an engineer though. Cause like, that's the best way to get in the room is like by engineering.
Wow.
Because everyone needs an engineer at the end of the day. And it's the only consistent job in the music industry that you could really make money off of if you have clients. Every other job in the industry, for the most part, is like you have to pay. Like to be an artist, you have to spend mad bread. Like even producing, you got to buy all these VSTs and shit. You got to put your beats on YouTube. But then you can't just put them on. You got to market them. You got to pay for the marketing. Like, you know, it's expensive unless you have clients and shit and you're like just stealing all your plugins, which a lot of niggas
A lot
do.
of B. I was about to
Yeah.
say.
I do that shit too still. I don't give a fuck. But
If it is what it is.
Like,
Spectrum
yeah.
Sonics be wildin'.
yeah, exactly. OD. But bro, if you're trying to get in the room, become an engineer, bro. Because that's the only way you're gonna get in that shit, bro. Or unless you like, if you're a producer, then learn how to engineer. Because
See,
that's how you get in the rooms, in my opinion.
this is interesting advice to me because I feel like a lot of people take the avenue of saying like I do everything instead of being like I'm like take pride in like this is my main thing and then try to use that as like to you know, you get in the room from there and then you show your talents from there. So I know you said in another interview, you said that you use engineering at, like you just said right now, as an opportunity to get in. And from there, you try to sort of branch off from there and sell your skill set from there. Like if you do something really well, then people will be like, what else do you do? Is that something that,
that's 100% fact. Like you can't wear every hat in the room, bro. Like you gotta choose a lane and be really good at that one lane. And niggas will notice that. And then, like again, like I said, you build a relationship. And that's when, you know, you can start doing other things. Like you can't like, bro, nobody's gonna want a nigga that thinks he knows it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a hard way. That was a hard thing I had to learn, bro. Like, fucking, you know, when I was with Kanye, I almost fucked myself up, you know, by doing that shit.
I love this story,
So,
bro.
like,
I know you said it in another interview, but I'm not gonna lie, I really love this story. I don't know if you want to tell it again about like how, like, so
told
let me
this shit so many
just say,
times.
like, when you were out there, you said when you were in Wyoming with Kanye, you said that you learned when you're in there to sort of maybe take a little of like, this is, I'm here for this purpose, and then I guess
yeah,
like
no,
I said,
you gotta
like,
know your role, bro. Shout out
know
The
your
Rock.
role, right?
Know your role and shut your mouth, bro. Do
Know
what
your
you
role
gotta
and shut your
do
mouth.
and do really good at that. Like, I'll tell a short version. Like, basically, I was making music. I had nothing to do making music in there with 070 Shake. Then I got called to go in the room with Kanye by somebody. So I go in the room and I play what we did because that's what I was asked to do. I didn't know that Kanye had no idea I was coming in the room. So as far as he knows, some random nigga just walks in the room that he only met one time and started playing his music, you know. So I almost got kicked out because of that reason. And, you know, later on he came and had a conversation with me and was like, look, like I'm paying you to do your one job. You need to do that one job really well. You know, later on, you know, your role may expand, but right now that's your job. And that's understandable, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's hard to like, and I feel like that was the reason I was put in that position because honestly, I got done dirty. Like, why would you tell me to come in the room and not fucking tell Kanye? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's OD crazy. But God put me in that position to learn that lesson. Like, and I wrote in my journal, like, know your role and shut your mouth. Like I said before, I'm a wrestling fan. The Rock used to say that shit all the time. Like,
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you said before in another interview that you gave some feedback to Kanye. Like, he was asking around the room on some feedback, and you said you gave your feedback. And at first he was a little bit like, why is this guy giving me feedback? And then he came back to what you said later on, and he appreciated it, right? With the Ye versus the People record.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta plant seeds, bro. Like, you know, like you give somebody advice, they're not gonna, like, sometimes they may not digest it right away, but they're gonna go home and think about it and be like, you know what, I might do that shit, you know. For him, it was like, all right, he just had to like take a couple like minutes, and then he was like, all right, wait, what?
Okay.
But yeah, you know, Kanye's a really collaborative guy, you know, like he listens to everybody. Like one time, there's an interview or a story where he asked a nigga was delivering pizza, and he asked the pizza nigga, he played the song, and he's like, yo, like, what do you think about this? And the nigga gave his feedback, and Kanye really did it, and then gave the pizza guy credit on the song.
Oh yeah, he gave him.
That's crazy.
Production credit.
Yeah, well, it was a production credit. I think it was like engineering or some shit. But
okay,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, wow. I know Kanye's probably was your number one influence growing up, right? So I know a lot of people. One of their main motivations is like, yo, I want to meet this person. I want to collaborate with this person. I want to like be in that room with that. Like, that's one of their main motivations in their entire career.
Yeah.
For you, when you actually had that opportunity and it actually came true, how did you feel after that happened?
I mean, it's funny because like growing up, I was always like, yo, when I work with Kanye, I'm retiring. Like, that's all I need to do.
Yeah,
like, I'm done. But then after I did it, I was like, yo, this is actually the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, because after that is when niggas started taking me seriously. Because before that, I wasn't mixing and mastering. I was just a recording engineer. And even producing, like, I was producing for my friends and stuff, but I hadn't really produced for any major artists or wrote for any of them. But once these people see that you've worked with people that they idolize, they look at you in a different light. And now you're able to expand your career. So I think that was the main thing. And also another thing was like, it like tore my definition of like idolism. Like, I used to idolize this man like he was Jesus Christ. Like, literally had him on my screensaver, posters, every concert, front row, like, you know. And then I met him and I'm like, yo, he's not much different than I am, you know. Like, he has all these people working for him. At first I was upset about that. I was like, yo, he's a fraud. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what, it takes a talented person to put all these people in the room and orchestrate it all in a certain way and give them direction, you know, and for a final mission, you know. So
that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. I want to ask you a general question.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, everyone that's gonna watch this interview, they're gonna be artists. Everyone that fucks with our channel is artists. So, general question: what are some things you see artists do that shoots them in the foot?
Number one thing is have too much ego. Like, bro, like, drop your ego. Everybody, like people don't want to take advice. They get butthurt when people say something. You gotta understand that at the end of the day, everyone, it's an opinion, but music is collaborative, bro. Like, they want to do everything themselves. Oh yeah, everyone wants to be Russ. Like, yeah, I mix, master, record, produce everything. Sometimes that's not the best thing to do, bro. There's another, like, we just did the music review. Like, the main problem with a lot of this shit is the mixing. Like, yo, you need a good mix engineer, you need a good producer, you need this. And I understand as a new artist, it may be difficult to get that shit, but go out and network. That's another thing. A lot of them are like, you know, I feel like a lot of creative people are like geeks. They're nerds. They want to, and they don't leave their crib. They just be at home all day, in the basement or whatever, in their room, making beats all day, and that's it. Like, you need to experience life. You need to go out and you need to get inspiration, and you need to listen to all different types of music. You need to like understand where your place is in this industry. How are you gonna do that if you only listen to like one type of person? Yeah, let me see another thing. I think that covers it for the most part.
The ego shit is the biggest thing.
Yeah, drop your ego, man. Like, number one, drop your ego. Work with different people. Take criticism. You don't have to agree with what everyone's saying. You don't have to do what everyone says, but at least be open to it. Because if you go into something, like when someone says something about your music, and before you even hear it, you're already like, nah, this nigga don't know what he's talking about. You're not gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to be open to understanding that other, people have their opinions, and that's what's part of being an artist, is listening to his opinions.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. Take it sober. I got to piss.
Okay. Do you want me to take it over?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, well, let me give it a second, because now we made it like a... Right.
Yeah, we could just take a little break.
Yeah, we take...
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
take a break. I'm taking a break.
All right, so we back. So one thing about you, bro, is like... oh, now I got... All right, I'm doing it again.
No, fuck it. Just go.
All right,
You good.
We back. So
We
one thing
are
about
back.
you, bro, is you've been in a lot of rooms. You've done a lot of big moments. A lot
Yeah.
of things that like a lot of producers, artists, engineers would dream of. So it's like, do you ever look back on it and be like, wow, I didn't take enough time to really appreciate those opportunities and be in the rooms that I was
Yeah.
in? Like,
Honestly, nah, bro.
Nah?
I was dumb hype every time. Like,
Yeah,
you know
every
what I'm
time.
saying? Like, I remember when we was about to, I found out I was about to meet Pharrell, bro.
Mhm.
I stopped the session. I was on top of the table, like, yo, let's get it. Like,
Yeah.
we lit, nigga. Yeah, bro. Like, that's one thing I did do, was like really sit and appreciate, like, even Wyoming. Like, I had a journal, bro. I was writing.
you were there for a month and a half in Wyoming, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And when I was with Timbaland, another moment, really took it in. Being in with Diddy, that was like kind of bittersweet. But
Why was it bittersweet?
I mean, I don't want to talk bad on Diddy,
Yeah, you don't have to. We can leave it at that.
but like, he just wasn't as engaged with the music, as I would have wanted, to be honest.
Yeah, it happens. Everyone's got off days.
Like, I feel like he
Yeah.
wasn't really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
He was like on his phone taking pictures and shit while we were playing the album,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just kind of like disappointed. But
Yeah.
it was still amazing to meet him, though. You know what I'm saying? When I was with Timbaland, like, I got to play him some beats, and he didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
Just was ass.
Yeah.
But now thinking back, I'm like listening to them, I'm like, yeah, they were pretty trash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But nah, like, honestly, I feel like I did take a lot of these moments in, bro. Like Coachella, like, that was another moment. Like, being on stage with Mike Dean, like, bro, fucking incredible. Like, I was crying on the stage, like, it's fucking beautiful.
So you stay grounded in those moments where you stay true to like.
It's
how you
because
were at
like
the moment.
I sat back and I visualized all these moments before they happen. You know what I'm saying? So to really be there is just like, it doesn't even feel real while it's happening. So I really have to take a step back, like, out and look from outside of my body, like, damn, like, I'm really here,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Okay.
I hope some artists have that, or artists, producers, engineers have the opportunity to go through that as well. Because I feel like that's a story that I hear a lot from artists and other people in that lane. Like, it's like they don't take enough time to appreciate the moments that they're. So that's
me.
dope that you had to. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to slow down, bro. Like, it's not all just work. Like, sometimes you got to really just take a break real fast. Even if it's for like fucking 15 minutes, bro. Like, just really take a deep breath, bro. Look around you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even this, bro. Like, y'all having this, bro. You having a prime spot in Peekskill, bro. Like, with a fire ass view. You got that fire window up there. You get the ambience of Division Street.
We have
like,
you with us right now. Like, it's a moment to stay grounded. Like, you got to take a breath. Like, stay
that's
grounded.
what I'm saying. Like, y'all killing it right now. Like, for real, y'all
I'm
putting on
definitely-
for the whole Westchester, bro. For whole Peekskill. Like, nobody's doing this here, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm not at a point where I feel like I can take a breath yet, but
Maybe you should.
Bro, there's always a time to take a breath, my nigga. Always, bro.
Yeah,
Always,
we're still above
man.
90% of people, 95%, 100%.
So
I don't look. I don't know what other people do. I just keep my head down and work.
But we
I
could be
can't-
grateful.
I can't speak on that. Yeah.
Well, listen, sometimes you gotta pick your head up, nigga.
Yeah. See, it's like, I'm gonna take. All right, so if you didn't see the music reviews with Snell, like, he made a point to be like, all right, like, I'm upgrading you from a 2.5 to a 2.6. Like, that was a meaningful difference for us, like, for him. So, like, maybe for us, like, we're above 95% of what people are doing in Peekskill. If we get to 96%, be like, all right, we made like a little bit of
fuck
incremental
that, bro.
improvement.
Y'all 100%, bro. Who's doing this? Only one other person,
Yeah.
and I told her
Alright,
I
so
was
New
gonna
York.
bring this up. Amy, you still know Amy, right?
Yeah, I know Amy.
She's
Yeah.
doing podcasts, bro. She's
Yeah.
killing it
Yeah, shout
also,
out Amy,
and y'all
dog.
need to link up with her.
Yeah.
because y'all need some feminine energy up in here. You know what I'm
Facts, we
saying?
do.
Even if it's another segment or whatever the fuck it is, like, she's really great at what she does.
She is good.
That's the
I watched her interview
only
with you.
other person out here that's doing this, bro.
Yeah. She asked me to come on the pod. I haven't done it
You
yet.
need to do
but
it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another moment of reflection. That's why I like to do it. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you be in it so much that you don't even realize the impact you have on other people. Like the way niggas look at y'all, you know what I'm saying? You, especially because you started it and you were doing this, like, people really, like, look up to you, bro. And they really, like, you know what I'm saying? They really are inspired by what you do, including Amy, you know what I'm saying? Which is why she's doing that shit because she's like, all right, if there's somebody else here that's doing it, why can't I do it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you hear that shit from other people, that's what really grounds you. It's like, you know what? Like, it was like you asked me earlier, like, do you like coming to Peekskill? Like, you know, like, yeah, because niggas remind me, like, in my head, I'd be like, I'm slacking, bro. I haven't got a placement in a year, doing this and that. I got a bunch of stuff I did that hasn't come out yet, but niggas are still looking at me like, damn, Snell, like, you really out here, like, and you really doing this shit. Like, sometimes you need that reminder. Like, you got to boost your ego up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for you. It's healthy. So
I think that's phenomenal advice, bro. For sure.
So do that fucking podcast. I told her I was gonna press you.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I was just with her at the coffee shop, at the coffee house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Amy, I told you I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to take you on a date. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That's wild.
You gotta shoot your
appreciate
shot.
those
you know what I'm
incremental
saying?
differences at every moment. That's what I'm getting from
Yeah,
this.
you can't compare yourself to like everybody else, bro. You gotta like look where you're at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, here,
a little bit of growth that you
Yeah,
made.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, facts. But hey, all right. So we got this jar of deep ass
Yeah, that's a
questions.
fact. The jar
that's
deep
what we
ass
call it.
questions.
Yeah, so
Two each.
two each.
I bet.
So random questions about
you should call it the
music
deep
business,
ass
music
jar.
career.
It's not that the jar is not that deep though. So
Yeah,
But the content is deep though. So you feel me?
that's what it's about.
No, this is bro. I always get this fucking question.
Yeah, we
I'm
want
throwing
them-
that shit out. All right, that's a valid
From the
one.
middle.
wait, can I ask one of y'all one of these questions? Oh no, because y'all wrote it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could all answer one.
All right, bet.
Yeah, we
All
could
right,
do
so
that.
this is the one for everybody. I don't know what that is.
Okay, bet.
All right, so you go first.
All right, bet.
What, have you ever gotten in the ass? What? Yo, what the
What?
fuck that niggas be
Nah, put that one back.
That's wild.
All right, bet.
That's
So,
funny.
what has been your most painful sacrifice you've had to make for your career?
That's a great question. My greatest sacrifice, bro, was going to New Zealand. Even though that was
Really?
a big moment and it's one of the greatest things, like there's a lot of things that I could have been doing, you know, because like I made a decision in like last year, beginning of last year,
Give some context here. Like
late 2020. Like Tiana's album just came out 2020. I was working with DJ Scheme, doing a show with Lil Mosey and Ty Dolla $ign, and I was getting some nice placements. I got the Kodak shit, and I ran into my boy Keith, who I haven't seen in a long time, and he basically explained to me what he just started this company called Live and Direct, and he needed a partner. And I was like, yo, this is a great opportunity for me to build my own stuff. He's like, he wanted to give me 50% equity of the company to bring my resources and do what I do. And in order to really make that shit happen, I had to sacrifice my engineer career, my producing, and all that shit. Like, I had to really put that to the side for a second and focus on this shit. So that's probably the biggest sacrifice I made, because like I decided to go to New Zealand, which is a great opportunity and it was amazing, but bro, I could have been working on Donda too. I could have been on tour with Tiana. Tiana's on tour right now. Could have been working with Danny still, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I'll be sitting back like, damn, like I really could be doing these things, but that's not my path, you know? Like, I know where I'm gonna be at. I may not be there yet, but fuck it. You gotta take sacrifices to go where you're going. So I would say that, yeah.
So I felt like a good investment. Like,
Oh, 100,
yeah,
a
for sure.
million
Yeah.
percent, bro. I love what
1,000,000%.
I'm doing right now, yeah.
Hey, fire.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, check it out. If you could snap your fingers and master any skill right now, what would it be?
Playing the guitar.
Really?
Yeah, guitar?
Yes, bro.
Guitar, bro, is
like,
my favorite instrument.
I want to be nice at it, but that shit takes like, I really have to dedicate like at least like an hour of each day, which when I say it out loud is not a lot. I could be doing that right now and that shit.
1 year, you'll be nice, bro. And you already understand keys. 1 year, you'll be nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's if I could snap my fingers and do one thing, that's what it would be. Bro.
Yeah?
Because
Wow.
like, bro, guitar is a timeless instrument, nigga.
Oh,
Look
dude.
at any era,
Any
the
era.
guitar is in every single song in every single genre.
That's
all
a
of
fact.
them, like
That's a fact.
all the genres.
Yeah,
People love guitars, so yeah.
I love guitar.
That makes sense.
All right, mine says.
Wait.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be the
we got
finale
one
that we'll
each.
all answer.
Oh, you got two each.
Yeah, we got two each.
That'll be
So-
my second one.
Oh, okay, bet. All right, so this one is, what's your biggest internal challenge you face while pursuing your career?
Communication.
Communication?
Yeah, like communicating properly with people, and
Yeah. Like in what situation? Really, any situation, or?
in general, bro, because there's like
As
a
an
lot of times where I
engineer.
get overwhelmed with like my work,
Okay.
and because like I have ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
and like untreated. Like I'm not taking other for it no more. Like it's been a while since I have.
I used to take Adderall, bro. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, me too, bro. Like
Yeah,
I'm right now. I'm like a year off of that shit,
bro. Fuck
you know what I'm
that
saying?
shit.
So like, it's difficult being like, you know, like staying on top of everything, and like sometimes you get overwhelmed with a project, or like you have other things, and then you know you don't communicate with certain people that you know I'm supposed to be working with, or when I'm hyper focused on my work, then like calling my family and like calling my grandma and like my cousins and shit, my mom, my dad, like my brother, like you know it's hard, like especially as an engineer, like your job is to serve people, like that's your whole job, and even as a producer, so it's like you serve all these people, but you forget to serve yourself, and you forget to stay in contact with everybody. You know, and then that
makes sense.
That's like a difficult thing. That's why I want to get a tattoo of a phone. You know, it sounds dumb, but like because sometimes I be forgetting just to call niggas.
Yeah.
So if I look, I'm like, all right, yo, phone.
Nah, that makes perfect
phone
sense.
home,
Honestly,
nigga.
bro.
Like, go.
That makes perfect sense,
saying?
bro. Yeah, it actually makes me want to get my first tattoo as a phone, because that's one of my biggest self complaints too, as well. It's like I don't call my family enough, or my friends.
Bro,
so.
it's hard.
Yeah.
And luckily, you know, for the most part, people understand. But like, you know, sometimes they make you feel bad about it. Like, oh, you didn't call me and whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, well, y'all don't live my life. Y'all don't understand.
I think there's two sides to that.
Yeah,
there's two sides, but you know, but like at the end of the day, we gotta take accountability. And it takes what 5 minutes to call somebody, like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that.
What's that question?
Are you asking us first?
I'm asking y'all first.
First?
Yeah.
I bet.
What has been your biggest regret in your career?
Oh fuck. I've actually answered this on the pod, and I would have the same answer that I had the last time I asked. Do you want to go first?
Nah, he's thinking about it. You gotta go first.
All right. My biggest
I was just ready to answer. You got it.
All right. My biggest regret in my career is being so cold. I sacrificed a lot of shit to get here, and trust me, I'm nowhere near like where I want to be, but I shut out everything and everyone, and I lost a lot of friendships because of that, and it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have got to where I could be without being so cold to other people.
Yeah.
And some of those friendships I can never fix.
Yeah.
So
Have you tried to?
I mean, it's just gonna sound like fucking therapy. Nah, I mean,
It is though. Like this is therapy, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, some yeah, but I mean, some people it's just not worth it. It kind of bothers me, and I haven't. Will I don't really know.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I was in a relationship in 2019 to 2020, right? And during that time, I shut a lot of people out. It was COVID, and like I was like separated from a lot of people. And during that time, I was doing the same thing. I was being cold to people for a lot of different reasons. I was busy and I was going through shit, and I just was feeling guilty for like the way I was living at the time. And I felt like a lot of those relationships I couldn't fix. But you know what? One day I just said, fuck it, bro. And I just called them. And, you know, sometimes people, you know, you just got to straight up apologize, bro. And like, you know, and then you move on. You start a new chapter, bro. But it feels good to do that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes all you got to do is just reach out, bro. But at the end of the day, sometimes it happens for a reason. And some people we lose contact with is because... fuck it, like them niggas are not meant to be in our life, so fuck it.
You know? It's very situational, but you know,
it is. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. I'm gonna say for me, I have a different answer that probably won't resonate with a lot of people, but for me, my part of my path is I have to go to undergraduate, and I have to do 4 years in undergraduate, and then I have to go to law school as well. So during my undergraduate, what's great about being in college is you have the space to pursue any type of lane that you're interested in, and you have the opportunity to sort of get yourself out there. You're doing school, that takes up a lot of time, but like also while you're in school, you have the opportunity to explore different interests, different career paths, different lanes. I did not tap into the music industry until I was in my senior year during COVID, which is when I started my senior year. So I wish wish I started tapping into the music space. I kind of knew I wanted to do entertainment, but I didn't take seriously like, I have to start planting seeds now. So I wish while I went to Albany, New York, which is not
Albany. That's where all the thotties is at.
Yeah. Albany Wild.
I wouldn't think about it as the thotty location, but hey,
it's not the location, but the type of people.
There are thotties everywhere. I'll just leave it at that.
True,
but I do. There's a music scene out there, and I wish I started planting seeds. I wish I started talking about my music career. I wish I started talking about my interests, but I didn't have it figured out until I was a senior. Like I knew I wanted to get into the legal side, the management side, but I didn't really have it figured out the lane until I figured out Carl Folks. Shout out Carl Folks. He's a lawyer that made it. Carl Folks is his name.
Carl?
So,
he's a lawyer out of Jersey.
Yeah, he's like 30 years old. He's a black entertainment lawyer, and he represents like he has a big social media presence. He has a lot of media platforms that he's present on, and he's became a big name just based off the fact he's got a lot of cosigns from people just by being on part of their platforms and they're representing
he was
them.
on producer grind and shit. He's official.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've probably seen him and don't even know.
Yeah, you might have. Facts. So point being, just for me, biggest regret, just wishing I did my research earlier on and just realized what I wanted to do. So and it would have positioned, but I'm in a good place right now. I'm way ahead of most like music lawyers, probably 95% when they were my age. So yeah.
Fine.
But what about you, bro?
Well, regrets in general, like I feel like I believe in regrets, but I don't at the same time, because if we actually went back and did those things that we wish we have, we would not be right here right now.
Type shit.
So,
That's a fact.
but also, I do have regret. My only regret that I have is not like giving Kanye his flowers, bro. Because
while you're in the room,
you serious?
yes, bro. Because like I never bro, that nigga meant the world to me. Like that moment and like me being there was like what I worked my whole life to do. So like I'm in there and I was so hyper focused on playing what I had to do or doing, and I was in the room with him multiple times, and I never like got to say like, yo, like I just want to let you know you inspired me like to do all this shit, and like, I look up to you crazy, like, and just like telling him how much you meant to me. That's probably my biggest regret. Because I feel like if I did that and then I played the music, it probably would have been a way different story.
Would have hit different.
Like I was just like, hey,
yeah,
like click, like, but like, yeah, but it's all good though. Like I know I'm gonna have the opportunity again for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like,
I know it's gonna come
like
again.
100%. Like I'm taking a different path now, with the entrepreneurship and my own company and everything. But it's all good. Like I'm gonna be there again, and I'll be able to express that. So
yes, sir.
That's a great answer.
How you feeling?
Yeah, right now?
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit wavy, mate. You know what I mean? Like,
you spent so much time in New Zealand.
When I bring out the accent, so I'm a little bit wavy. I'm sorry, I folded that up.
Oh, goddamn.
I'm so sorry, bro.
It happens.
He good. That was a New Zealand accent. Let me just
that was like
a little bit British. That? That's a little bit British.
A little British.
Yeah. How do the New Zealand people talk?
Well, there's like different accents. There's like different accents. Like there's like like the native people from New Zealand, they're called the Maori. Okay, that's like the native. They kind of talk like this. They talk like this. They don't really open their mouth a lot when they talk. Oh, so they kind of talk like this.
That sounds.
But then you get like people like they say like everyone else like I can't really do the main accent. They don't pronounce their R's, so they go like artists and like A and R.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really good at the accent. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
but they're gonna be mad at me when they see this. But it kind of sounds like a UK accent mixed with like a Australian accent.
Okay,
but slightly
that's
different. Like, that's what it sounds. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It happens.
Hey,
I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
Hey, we here. Woo! Oh, man, fuck it. Yeah, I will run that back. That's a fact. Could you tell the people where to find you on social media?
Yeah, OnlyFans at
shit.
Not again. Yeah, Only Feet. Nah. You can find me. That sound like I got accounts. Nigga said what? Oh shit! I'm playing. All right, find me on IG at Mike Snell, MIKESN3L.
Boom.
Twitter, not Mike Snell, NOT. Mike SNELL, right?
I'll put it up. It's okay.
What else?
TikTok.
Oh, TikTok, SN3L, Snell. MySpace, you already know. Yeah, man, that's about it, bro.
Shit.
That's about it, man.
You gonna find your OnlyFans. I know you got something. Yeah,
that's why I gave up the engineering.
Did you know White Castle had OnlyFans?
How did you know that? That's what I want to know.
They advertise it. Yeah.
What do they post on there?
I don't know. I didn't subscribe. I'm not gonna pay for White Castle's like
Shit going on in the kitchen.
Nah, I'm gonna save it. But there is something to the fact of like the content creator space having somebody have a subscription wall to see content. You know what I mean? Like there's something to like like Tory Lanez.
So are you telling everyone to get OnlyFans?
I'm saying that Instagram released a model that's kind of getting into that, so that's something that's really interesting.
Oh yeah,
like the new like I predicted
they
that
can subscribe to you now. Yeah.
So if you want to see for your extra fans, like your extra fans, like they're super fans, they'll pay the extra $5 to see extra content from you. You know, there's something to that model. But
we're gonna do something like that in the future. We'll get that
Patreon type shit. But.
Anyway, yo. This is episode 36 of the Encore Podcast. 36. I know you learned some shit from the pod. I know you enjoyed it. So please subscribe to the channel. Tap in with us.
Like and comment.
Yes, like, comment. All that good YouTube shit. Definitely fucked with the episode.
Yeah.
And appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week with another dope episode.
Yeah.
So,
yes, sir. You already know what it is.
We out to Dykeman now.